Alright guys, welcome back. So I've had a bit of a change up on the channel and over on Twitch, mainly to give me time to do other things and also so you know what's going on. So like if you've not seen this channel before, I'm about to tell you what you can expect basically on a weekly basis, opposed to at the moment a random video goes out, you don't know whether it's one you're going to want to watch or not, you just have to click on it, watch it for 30 seconds and go, oh, I'm not interested. At least now I'm going to tell you sort of roughly, because I'm gonna stick to it as best I can, but obviously occasionally there will be big news that comes up and I'll have to put a video out outside of the normal schedule. But basically today is the first of the new schedule. So every Monday we're going to look at 3 add-ons. It's going to be called Add-on Week or a Spotlight. So that means I'm gonna scour the internet all week trying to find add-ons that are really useful that you might not use, or add-ons that people are constantly asking me in the comments on YouTube videos, like, oh, what's that above your, character's head, what's this, what's that, so if it's ones that are frequently asked, I'll include that in the Monday video, and then also specific week auras, if there's really good week auras, maybe for PvE or for PvP, whatever, ones that are really useful or just real good quality of life, they'll be included in Monday's video, and I'll try and include 3, maybe a mix of add-ons and week auras, but today it is just add-ons. And then we've got like Tuesdays is news update, Wednesdays and Fridays is gold farms. Thursdays I don't plan on uploading, again, unless there's something really good that comes up, because Thursdays I want to do all day basically streaming on Thursdays, but on different games, so it won't be World of Warcraft. So if you know, or if you don't know, at the moment I've been playing a bit of Final Fantasy 14, just giving that a go, and I'm quite impressed by it, and obviously I'm on the Ashes alpha testing as well, so I'm trying to make time for those, which leads nicely onto what Saturday's videos will be, which will be a different game, but I'm going to try and keep it very WoW related. So everybody wants to know what the next WoW killer is, don't they? It's like, oh, is it going to be Ashes of Creations, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm going to do direct comparisons, and I've got a very set agenda for all of these comparison videos. So if I do like Ashes of Creation versus World of Warcraft, it will be combat, then it will be Ashes versus World of Warcraft crafting system. So rather than going, oh yeah, Final Fantasy 14 is better than WoW, because that's what a lot of people are saying at the moment, which I don't quite get myself. I'm enjoying it, don't get me wrong, but there's lots of things that I prefer about WoW, but there's lots of other things that I prefer about Final Fantasy 14. So I'd rather break it down into the core systems, the key core systems, and go, which one's better at combat, which one's better for crafting, which one's better for RP, like whatever, but so that, well, all I like to do is PvP. Maybe Final Fantasy 14 is not for me because the PvP in WoW is better. It's that general sort of thing. I appreciate not everyone's going to want to watch those videos where it's about other games, because some of you, well, most of you are probably here specifically for World of Warcraft content, but it will be World of Warcraft themed, but it will be looking at my experience on other games where I'm spending hundreds of hours on them, on my Thursday all-day streams, the odd evening stream when we haven't got any raids and things like that. I'm going to invest a lot of time into these games, so it makes sense to at least get videos out about them. But enough about that anyway. Make sure you like, subscribe, come check me out over on Twitch, and let's get into today's add-on spotlight. Now the first one we're going to look at, fairly straightforward, really quick. It'll only take us a quick minute just to look at it. But it's called Minimap Button Bag. This is another one where people ask on the stream, or they ask on YouTube videos, like, oh, what is that on your minimap? Like, how do you get it to look like that, basically? So this is what the add-on is. Oh, by the way, I'll put a link to all of these add-ons in the description below, so you can just click on it, get it downloaded. So basically, Minimap Button Bag is just that, where you can see there. So on my minimap, rather than, Questy doesn't sit in there, which is quite annoying, but I'm sure I could just have a look at the settings and work out why. But like you can see, your minimap might be plagued with add-ons, all overlapping each other, whereas if you get Minimap Button Bag, you can just click on it and it's got all of your add-on sort of menus that you might need to open inside of it, which is quite useful. It keeps it nice and clean. You just click on it, and then if I wanted to go to my item rack, for example, I'm straight in on my item rack. It's really, there's not much to talk about. There's a few little bits that you can do in the options if you right click on it, which you can have it expand to the top. So now if I click on it, oh, let's press OK first. If I click on it, it goes upwards. I don't particularly like it like that. I like it to go left. Max buttons per line. So if you was to put this to say 4, then you can have it expanding bottom. So now when I click on it, it comes up in a nice little sort of stack of them. You might prefer it like that rather than going all the way across the screen. Obviously you would change that if you wanted to change that to say 6, then obviously it will then have 6 in each row. But fairly straightforward. I in fact might even just keep mine like that because I quite like that, to be honest with you. The collapse timeout of 1 second, so that's if you open it and then you just don't touch it, then obviously it will close itself down. You know, I have that on 1 second because generally, obviously when I've got it open, I know exactly what I've actually got it open for and what I'm trying to get to. But overall, keeps your UI looking nice and sleek. Doesn't like plague your minimap with loads of buttons. I feel like it was worth a mention. I think this add-on is really popular in retail, but not so well known in Classic. When I was comparing the amount of downloads, I think this has had about 60k, something like that, 60, 70k, which in the grand scheme of things is not that many for something that's actually very useful, just very, very nice, clean, good to use. Now, I've got another one which is a really popular one over on retail. A lot of people, and I mean a lot, just go and look at any of the gold farming guides that I've done recently. In the comments, everybody's asking, how can you see your combo points and your debuffs and everything above the enemy targets? So this is another add-on which is really super useful, and I would sort of tell everybody should be using this, because if you're a dot class, it's brilliant. If you're multi-dotting lots of mobs around you, you can physically see which ones have got dots on and which ones haven't. I mean, I use it for tanking because it also shows you the threat, so it will show you what you haven't got threat on. Really useful. And there is also a weak aura that I'm going to talk about next week, which works with this, but it didn't really fit into this video because I only want to do 3 a week, as in 3 add-ons or weak auras a week. But let's jump in and have a look. So this particular add-on is Neat Plates. Now you're going to have to forgive me if you hear any clicking in the background because obviously I do need to be attacking stuff. But if we just attack this toolbuck, you can see when I get in combat, so it's got Fairy Fire on it. If I then mangle, it's now got mangle on it. It's also got 1 combo point that we can see. If I rake, you can see the rake. You can see I've now got 3 combo points. I can now rip. My combo points have gone. You know, I know it's fairly straightforward, but it's nice just to be able to see that directly above the target's health. And the same way, if I was to go in bear and attack, if I didn't have aggro on it, which it's going to be very difficult to show you this outside of a dungeon, but you'll see a very clear change in the nameplate if you haven't got aggro on that particular mob. So you know that you need to start thinking about, you know, getting a taunt on it, or, you know, getting some damage on it nice and quickly, but it just makes it nice and clean. I mean, I can show you what it looks like for everything else. Obviously, I can Moonfire, but the main thing is, I think for rogues and druids, being able to see your combo points directly above the mob's health is extremely useful, and it's very responsive as well. I mean, I know you can see down here, this will be, my whole UI will be a completely separate video, and it might be one that I do on this Thursday, because a lot of people have been asking about it actually, which is nice. I mean, I've only amended this. This is actually a bulk standard weak aura, well, not bulk standard weak aura, but a weak aura you can download that somebody else has made. I've just combined multiple weak auras to include things like cooldown. So if I innovate myself, now you can see that's on cooldown. If I was to do a hurricane, you can now see that's on cooldown. You know, if I was to bash, you can then see that that's on cooldown. But this is not all part of the same package. This is just, I've taken multiple sort of amazing pieces of work that people have put together and then just changed it to work for me, work for TBC, because these were actually my classic sort of weak auras. But I'll go over that in a separate video anyway. But ultimately, I think Neat Plates, really nice, great for absolutely everyone. There's not a class I can think of that wouldn't be able to make use of Neat Plates, especially over the ordinary sort of bulk standard Blizzard nameplates, which I can't get on with. And then finally, the last add-on, which is a little bit of a strange one, and it's probably more for you raid leaders, guild leaders, officers. I like it. I like it for doing things like for Magferidon, for example, so setting up the cube groups, it's nice, but you can set up pre-set raid groups, you know, so you haven't got to move everybody around or alt tab and look at Discord and look at your sort of guild roster and how you've got your raids laid out. You know, you haven't got to sit there and think, oh right, we need a shaman in that group for totems. You can do it all before the raid, and then you can just does it automatically. So let me just show you. I'm not in a raid, so I'm not going to be able to show you exactly how it works, but you will get the gist. So this add-on's called Raid Group Organizer. So we literally type /RGO, which brings it up. So I started playing about and making one a second ago. This has got a criminally low amount of downloads. And when I say criminally low, I mean 8.9k, which is, I mean, very low for how good it is. Even for just, you haven't got to be a raid leader or a guild leader to be able to find a good use for this. You know, even if you're doing pugs or whatever, you know, you can sort of plan your groups around this. So if I just show you, like I started making a group for a raid for our guild. So I could put like Mirza, who's our boomy, in there. I can put Altair, that's our hunter, and it automatically starts picking up the names from the guild as well, which is really nice. But then you can move these around and just get, you know, people wherever you want. I'm not going to bother doing it like this, but what I can show you is if we add a new one and we call this test. So you can do this in game, like on your normal raid frames first, and then if I can just hopefully get some people just to join a raid with me. So what I can now do, so we've got, let me just convert this to a raid, and now if we open RGO again, we can then go to add. Let's call this second raid team. Oh no, we're just going to call it test, won't we? We'll call it test, and then I can just import raid. So then it will import everyone in the exact group that they're in at the time. But then when you've got these set up, you've got your presets in the raid group organizer tool, then what you do is we'll jump back in game, and then you can literally go to, once you're in a raid group, let me say I move Neoblade over here. Obviously we know that in, if we go to RGO, main heroic group, let's put Neoblade in here, and then save that. So we'll have to pretend this was a full raid group. But now if I click above here next to the raid and put main heroic group, it automatically, it don't matter where we are in the raid, we could both be in group 5, I'll press it, bang, it then moves everybody into the group that they're meant to be in. So this don't just save time, but it's also just, you know, you can, well, it does save time. You can do it outside of the raid, and then obviously have it all set up. You join the raid, you can just mass invite absolutely everyone, click one button, boom, all the groups are sorted. I mean, and as I say, if there was anyone missing, for example, I don't know, 2 of your main raid team couldn't make it and you've invited 2 trials or 2 socials, it's now only those 2 people that you'll have to organise, because it will move everybody else around and you'll just see the 2 missing links and then put them wherever you want them. But overall, I think it's a brilliant add-on and can just be really useful, even if you're just trying to make some teams in-game. So like, if you're making 2 or 3 raid groups, you know, Karazhan raid groups or whatever, you'd probably use a, I don't know, wowtbc.gg or wowhead or whatever, you'd use a site like that. Just do it in-game in this, and then just screen snip it, post it on your Discord, everyone knows who their groups are. And that sounds basic, but for an add-on that's only got 9k downloads, I feel like it should have more, and you should probably download it. But that's where I'm going to leave it today. They're the 3 add-ons. So we looked at Minimap Button Bag, which is very good. We looked at Neat Plates, which is incredible. And we looked at a really, really useful tool for raid leaders, guild leaders, pug leaders, GDKP leaders, whatever. You know, you'd be able to make use of it in one way or another. But predominantly, it's probably a good guild tool. But if you like the video, like, subscribe. Really does help the channel grow. Just keep it pumping, boys. And I'll see you on the next one. Just wanted to take this moment just to say thank you to all those guys up there that have joined the channel as a member, so that's as a supporter or as a legendary supporter. It really does help the channel just continue growing, keep me in this seat, pumping out TBC content, Ashes of Creation soon, and obviously whatever else comes up between now and then. Also, if you want to give me some extra support, then check out my second channel, Safe Sounds, which is DMCA free, copyright free music for content creators, so be that Twitch streamers, TikTok creators, YouTube content creators, anything, anywhere you need background music, copyright free, lo-fi, drill, R&B, hip hop, you name it, it's going to be on there. So if you want to check that out, links in the description below. Please go over and subscribe, it really helps out. And thank you again, all you guys up there and everybody that subscribes to the channel. Peace out.